Hello everybody, this is Jenny McGarvey. I was thinking that I would share with you today a little look at my scrapbook space. As you can see, I use a pretty large room currently. However, we're moving in just a few weeks to a new home, and so my new space will not be anywhere near as large as this one. So I will miss this space very much, and I thought it was perfect to document it in a video. Now, this is the living room in our home. It is right off the front door. Here's my front door. There I am. Hello. And right off of it is my scrapbook space. It's usually pretty neat and pretty tidy. I'm pretty aware of it being right in the front of our house, but I also don't worry if there are projects out. And this also connects to our family room, which is just beyond these French doors. So I feel pretty lucky in that I can really still be a very big part of the family when I'm in here scrapping, but usually I'm not when there are people here. Anyway, okay, so here is my desk, and that's where I sit, obviously. Below the desk, in that box that's to the back, is scraps of paper. And in the front is my 8.5 by 11 cardstock that I use fairly regularly for card making or also for stamping. You can see my garbage can back there. And then right here is some of the newest paper in that crapper hopper, some of the newest pattern paper, and also in that Studio Calico holder thingamabob is my some white and some off-white cardstock. I keep it right there because I reach for it very often, and that way it is right within reach. On top of my desk, I keep a small amount of pens and little tools such as scissors and things like that, washi tape. And then right here I have a bunch of stamps. These are mostly sentiment stamps or alphabet stamps. As you can see, like I have one alphabet stamp here and sentiment stamps. That's pretty much what's right here, again for card making so that I can reach for them very quickly. Now, as you can see, if I step back briefly, I have two of these sets of Alex drawers as for my desk. I'll go ahead and quickly share with you the contents of my drawers. They're not particularly neat or tidy. I use a baby wipes for cleaning my stamps. Then I just have a small amount of random things in here, paper clips, wood grain sequins, things like that. And then also a few of my more often used punches, though I don't actually use them that often, but they would be more often used if I were a stamp user, or punch user, I'm sorry. This is probably my most often used drawer. Right here is where I keep my blocks, but on my desk currently are a bunch of stamps that need to be cleaned. So some label stamps, some ink pads, adhesive, tags, inks. These are all alphabet stickers. There's a couple of random sheets of Echo Park ones on top, but underneath it's all pretty much just alphabet stickers. I do go through there periodically and purge because I don't like to keep more than that drawer. These are all punches. And the bottom is mostly adhesive, though you will see I have these two things, but the rest of it is where I keep all my adhesive, and actually not all of it, just some of it. Now, if we go to this other side of the desk, the top drawer, I keep little bits and bobs, my roller stamps. This is embellishments that I have quite a few papers from a collection to go with it. This is probably, it's mostly wood veneer, a few of my Doodlebug buttons, which are favorites, and then a couple of other embellishments that I really, really like a lot. So like these frames from the pier, from crepe paper, the cork, things like that, that I reach for a lot. More embellishments, a lot of enamel dots down here. These are the ones that I know where they're at so I can get them used. And then in this bottom drawer, more embellishments, but ones that I don't reach for quite as often. Now, I am sitting here. I have a nice huge window looking out the front of my house. The corner is my desk with my laptop and my sewing machine. Some drawers, my typewriter, my selfie, my family room, a little TV armoire thing, and then back out into my entryway. So now right here behind me, so if I turn around completely, I keep my thickers in that wire basket right next to my Raskog. And then also this, I don't really actually know what you would call it, piece of furniture, I guess. I also store my lights for video making over in that corner as well. Now I will share with you a little bit about my Raskog and how I keep it organized. This top shelf is for parts of my 3x4 Project Life cards. The center is for Project Life stamps, or stamps that I deem to be more Project Life related than sentiment stamps. I have a bunch of Ellie Studio stuff over here, a couple of Scraptastic wood frames. Back here are mostly stickers that I use for Project Life, and the same would be true for over here. And I don't really worry about those not being particularly organized because they're easy enough to work with. Now down here I have my 4x6 Project Life cards, more 3x4 Project Life cards. I have them all sorted by color. So the top ones up here on this top shelf are red, blue, green, whatever. These are some multicolor, some wood grain, craft, ledger, calendar, and then grid cards. My alphabet stickers are over here, the smaller ones like the Lily Bee or the Simple Stories. And right here in this tiny little tin, I have some more random things sorted by color, and then a couple of my Elise Cripe stamps, which are fun to use, and I really do like those. Now underneath, I keep all of my extra studio, or my Scraptastic Club wood veneer. I absolutely love these wood veneer, and I use them a lot. And I know it doesn't seem like it, but when you get the extra, when you buy the extra ones every month, they come with so many that it's hard for me to get them all used up. But I definitely use a lot of these. So those are in there. And then on the bottom shelf are all of my Flair die cuts back there. Here are my 4x6 pads or my 6x6 pads. I actually hardly have any, though I've gained a few in the last couple of months. My extra Avery L folders. I think that's really about it down there. I keep my thickers sorted by color in this box. It helps me find things a little bit faster. Up above that piece of furniture that I shared with you are magazines. The bottom two shelves are ones that I have projects in, and then that top shelf is all old simple scrapbooks. I couldn't bear to get rid of those. I love them so much. Now the top here, again, are some of the latest papers and embellishments that I have. These will get put away soon since new stuff from CHA summer is coming. I do try to use these up as quickly as possible, just because new stuff is always coming and I don't want to hoard stuff, and I do get rid of things pretty quickly. Now I keep my current Project Life album out here. This one will get put away soon because this is week 26, so obviously it's time for a new album, but I like to keep something out. My planning notebook. Over here I happen to have a Studio Calico Project Life sitting out. That's just because I do, for no other reason that I'm going to use it this next week, so I have it ready to go. This is all just plastic bags, and again, it's brand spray paint, sequins, and these are really nifty. These little containers, and they have little sequins in there, and they're like little Tic Tac container things, kind of. You see? That's how I store my sequins and my eyelets and things of that nature. There's also a couple of other miscellaneous things in here, watercolors and stuff like that, but nothing too exciting. Now down below, I have my cropper hoppers, and in here, most of them are cardstock. If you can believe it, I've purged so much cardstock. it's necessary. I don't use very much colored cardstock, and I really don't like hanging on to it. But I also have old pattern papers. I mean, seriously, some really old, like KI Memories and stuff like that. Doodlebug, right there, Scenic Route, my favorites. I have, this is all Studio Calico patterned paper. This is more cardstock, page protectors. Those are all page protectors. I like to get those and make sure that I have them and then not have to worry about buying them on a regular basis. Now down here, I have more adhesive. Over here is mostly items that I'm going to purge, donate, get rid of. That top wooden box used to sit on top of my desk, but now that the house is for sale and I want it to look a little bit tidier, I've just put it over here. I really like it. I can sort photos and keep scraps of white or craft cardstock that I know that I will use again. And that crapper hopper behind is 12 by 12 patterned paper that I am purging. And as you can see, I store my lights right next to that. Okay, so now turning back around into this corner, it's not particularly exciting. It's just a small little desk. There's my Silhouette Cameo. It sits on top of that old wooden box. And over here on the shelves, I keep my POW, or my Zing, I'm sorry, embossing powders, and only because it's pretty and I like the colors, and a few of my completed mini albums. Now I have this gallery wall as well of just different photos and things like that. I have this little tiered thing, a few things for my sewing machine on the top, and then a few completed mini albums on the bottom. This wall container has my mists and then also my twine. Now over here I have these two matching little units that have a whole bunch of drawers. This one has my selfie and my typewriter. And then in the drawers, there's really just miscellaneous things. Here is some thread or floss, fabric. This one's empty. I used to keep a lot of really old embellishments in here, but I purged a ton of them in that if I hadn't used them in 5 years, I'm not going to use them, so I might as well go ahead and get rid of them. And so I purged those, and a lot of these drawers are empty, and in our new home, I will use these in our living space. So I have an old vintage scale right there, and then, you know, just more random craft supplies in here, some twinery twine, some brushes that I actually use quite a bit. Now, my lockers are a hot mess. They really are so helpful in storing. I have some of my chic tags items in that basket, and then there's another basket just like this one right behind it. This one is just full of stuff. So these are bottle caps. These are wire. My crocodile, and I don't know what this is even called. I have some other hole punches. I have some seam binding ribbon, just all kinds of stuff that I actually need and I actually use, but I don't want out. And here is a lot of letterpress stuff. Letterpress wipes in the far back, and then in here there are inks and letterpress paper. And again, I actually use this stuff on a regular basis, or I would not keep it here. Down here are some of my die cutting, my die cuts, or the dies themselves in here. And I store these in the Avery L pockets with a magnetic sheet behind it. I got these at Lowe's or Home Depot or something. One side is white, one side is black, and the dies just stick right to it. And so they're fantastic for that. And then I keep my long dies, the really long ones. I keep them in this plastic container, so they are all together. Now down here we have my Evolution, and then the mats, and then the letterpress thing. And on the bottom, another drawer of junk. So just boxes and mats and my Colossal stuff down there, which I still love the Colossal, by the way. So just two basically of junk, and the rest of them are pretty organized. Gumball machine with buttons. This one container is where I allow past Scraptastic Kit Club kits to sit. Once it's full, it's gone. I disperse them throughout my stash. I, in the past, have prided myself on being a kit killer, but now that it's summer, I cannot, okay, these two are Chic Tags papers, but, so I really only have 4 kits here. No, I lied, 6. And a couple of this Life Noted. Now that it's been spring and summer when baseball starts and I get really busy, it's hard for me to keep that up. Now turning again this way, here is my family room. No family here, huh? And back out into the entryway of my home. So we have this piece, and on the top I have a bunch of items, acrylic paint and various other things. Now those are really just mostly decorative. The paints, I don't hardly ever use them, but they're pretty like that, so I leave them. I could definitely find other places for that stuff. Inside this cabinet, I used to keep the Cropper Hoppers paper in here, but in our new home, I'm not anticipating using this in my space. So I have 2 trays that hold the latest Scraptastic Kit Club kits so that I can use them. And one, there's the Summer Nights kit, and over there is the Either Way kit, so I can just pull the tray out and have all of the things at my reach. If there's anything left over, I'll put them back into the Ziploc bags and then in that other tote that you saw already. Over here, my last little thing is another one of those wire baskets that holds all of my Christmas items, and below it my 2 core kits, which is Midnight and I believe Fifth and Frolic. So that is a look at my scrapbook space. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I know that I will enjoy having it for the future when I no longer live here and I am reminiscing about a wonderful space that I had. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.